Welcome to Grow Overload. I'm Anthony, and it looks like Intel's fab struggles will continue. At Intel's earning call, we found out a lot about what's going on with their 7 nanometer. And it's looking like it's delayed 6 to 12 months, according to Intel and Bob. So I'm talking about it. And that's what we know so far. Who knows if it's going to be further delays because people that invest or even people just watching the industry remember 10 nanometer, and it was not a good experience as well. Delayed for many years, and finally we're seeing some of the fruits of the labor, but not much. It's not across their whole lineup yet, not across desktop. They got some mobile chips on it, and I think server chips are coming out soon. I'm losing track because it just seems like it's taking forever to get anything out on this 10 nanometer. And 10 nanometer that they probably originally had wanted to work on is not the same as it is today, and according to reports online, that is the case. But where does that leave 7 nanometer, right? Maybe they're talking about 7 nanometer that we're going to right the ship with this, and it does not look like, based upon the call, that they're actually righting the ship. It is maybe going down the same path, and hopefully it gets turned around quick. I have some questions about Bob Swan and how well he will lead Intel and correct the ship over there and getting this fabs working correctly and being developed on a cadence that is at least competing with Taiwanese Semiconductor Company. Because right now, Taiwanese Semiconductor Company doesn't show any signs of slowing down, and it is a cadence that I'm quite impressed with how they're pushing forward. And then you have Samsung that has I think a few stumbling blocks here and there, but they are still pushing forward as well. And where does that leave Intel if they're not able to keep up with those? Will they be just outsourcing it? Who knows? I think that's another conversation here. But Bob Swan did do, I believe, the right thing, as in starting to change up leadership a little bit and hopefully correct the areas that need to be corrected and put leaders in place in those groups so that they can make a direction turn and fix the issues that are out there so far. And so Murthy is, I wish I could pronounce his last name, but he's leaving August 3rd, and he was kind of the overall head or of the group. I don't know how to explain it. I have a little bit of summary here, but if you want to go in, read Intel's press release on this. But he is out of Intel, and Adored TV did a really great video on that as well. I would highly recommend go check out some of his videos on Intel lately. He did a great job over there. But if he's out, then Bob Swan is kind of, I see it as, hey, somebody need to be removed. Somebody's not doing their job right. Here's maybe from people that I've talked to that I think are going to do a good job. We don't know if they will. Hopefully they will. Hopefully they'll right the ship. But I need to do something because right now it's insanity just doing the same thing over and over again. And we need something else to happen. So there is new leaders in all these technology development, manufacturing operations, design and engineering, architecture, software, and graphics will continue to be led by Raja. And then supply chain will continue to be led by Dr. Rancor. Yeah, and I'm going to butcher that name, and I do apologize for that. I don't mean to apologize or butcher these names. So I like the direction. I don't know too much about these people, but I will, look into them and see. And so I have a feeling of what to expect maybe from them, maybe see if they made some public statements, because that's going to be a good direction for them going forward. And these changes kind of seem like Bob Swan may be getting a grips of his CEO position and not being that financial guy, which I like to see. I think that being a CFO requires a certain talent, and then being a CEO requires another certain talent. You can't just transfer over what you have from the CFO and make it into the CEO. There's different leadership qualities, and there's different guidances that you have to think about when you're running a company like that. So you're going to have your tendencies, right? You came up in finance, you're going to have those tendencies, but you have to realize that right now you are in a battle and a struggle trying to get these fabs out, and you got to correct that ship because Intel has a great fab capacity. Look at how many 14 nanometer chips that they've produced and how many fabs across it that they're able to produce. And getting that chip right, especially for your 7 nanometer going forward, is going to be crucial. At some point, I bet you that you can just move off of 10. I don't know if 10 is going to be that viable for you going forward. Intel, maybe it's just going to be a chipset node or something like that. But you're going to want to get to a point in 7 nanometer that you're, again trying to at least be caught up or starting to lead again, and so you're competitive with Taiwanese Semiconductor Company, unless you're going to spin it off, and then that's a whole, I think, another conversation. But I think at this time, Bob Swan really wants to get that ship righted. He's not looking, I think, to fully outsource everything. He wants to make sure that what they've developed and what they have can move forward on their nodes. And I think that was what this move is about, so that investors kind of can put their faith back into Intel, saying, yeah, they're starting to make moves to make sure that they're starting to right the ship, so they don't have a repeat of 10 nanometer. Because I think if they have a repeat of 10 nanometer on 7, that will make Bob Swan kind of roll his eyes and be really upset. Based upon moves that he's already done, who knows what that's going to mean? That could mean a total spin-off. That could mean selling him off to somebody as well. So. Yeah, and then we're going to want to work with it. Then you have to get wafers at all these other fabs that are manufacturing it, in hopes that there's enough space for all your products as well to be fabbed up. It causes a whole bunch of other issues that I'm sure Bob Swan is very well known, because he was in finance, so he knows how the financing is going to go, and how much money it takes for the wafers and everything else. This is going to be interesting to watch, and I'm sure it's not going to be fixed in 6 months, but we should know from the delay about 6 to 12 months after it is, unless Intel decides at another financial or someplace else to announce they're delayed again or they're on track. So, and if they're on track, you always have to take it with a grain of salt, as Charlie is Semi-Accurate has seen some stuff from Intel, and he's written that sometimes you don't always take what they say as face value as what truth is. It's just, something that won't get them in trouble legally. So let me know what your thoughts are on Intel. I think, you got some of my thoughts on here, where they just need to straighten this out, and they need to do something. And this move is as logical as, a lot of moves that they could have done. But hopefully getting somebody out, getting new leadership, new leads in at this, we'll see where it goes forward with this. But let me know what your thoughts are on 7 nanometer. Do you think that we'll have a repeat of 10? I am up in the air on that one right now. I needed to get maybe a little bit for a few more months online, or a little bit more information out from either leakers or somebody else, because I don't have my faith in Intel that they're going to be able to put their foot out there. Now their design team and everything else, that's a different discussion, but their fabs right now need help. But let me know what your thoughts are in the comments below. I'm really excited to see where people come down on this. And as always, I do want to thank you guys for subscribing. Thank you for helping this channel grow. I greatly appreciate it. You guys are amazing at helping support this channel. And until next time, God bless, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe.